What are you doing on Tuesday the 26th of September 2023? Because myself and Francesca Amber are coming to the Barbican Hall in London. Our event is called One Night Stand, and this one night event is all going to be about manifestation, crystal healing, and ridding your limiting beliefs to help you achieve your goals. We've curated an immersive experience that will leave you feeling inspired and empowered. Throughout the evening as well, we'll also have interactive exercises, we'll have empowering discussions, and the opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals on a similar journey towards personal growth and manifestation. There'll even be an opportunity for you to ask questions as well. This event is your chance to break free from the shackles of self-doubt and unleash your inner greatness. It's time to release those limiting beliefs that might be holding you back and step into your true potential. And if you want to come on your own, by all means do that. Single tickets are available and seating is totally unreserved, so you can even meet up with your spiritual friends and sit with them as well. Head to @CannyCrystals on Instagram and click the link in my bio. Tickets are limited, so secure your spot and be part of this transformative experience. Don't miss out on the chance to manifest your dreams and achieve your goals. We can't wait to see you there. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Canny Crystals, the podcast. My name is Mart, I'm your host, and this week I've had even more lucky experiences. I can't believe my luck at the minute. Well, actually I can, because I am a lucky bitch. So if you listened to last week's pod, for example, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But basically, this week, I started the week with an email from Expert Empires, who are the business coaching group who hosted the event in London that I went to a couple of weeks ago. And the email just basically said that they were having a 3-day intensive business coaching workshop kind of thing. Now, at the event for a couple of weeks ago that I went to, for me to work with them directly, they said that it would be, and get this, you might fall off your chair. Sitting down, hope you are. They said for me to work with them directly, it would be £25,000 for 12 months plus VAT. So we're talking £30,000, which obviously, that's a hell of a lot of money. Yeah, although my business turns over quite a fair bit of money each month, and I try not to think about this, do you know what I mean? But £30,000, that's a lot of money. So although my business does turn over quite a bit, my outgoings for the cost of stock, the office, the marketing agency, my wage, my mum's wage, the academy software that I use, the website, postage, packaging, people don't realise that all mounts up, and it probably leaves the business with around £5,000 a month profit, which isn't massive, to be totally honest, but it's just my outgoings right now because I am a new business. I'm still classed as a new business. I'm still paying all these fees. The government take 20% VAT off everything. It's a right ball ache, but I'm just putting this out there because when I mentioned that I made £50,000 in a month, someone actually messaged us and said, "Oh, you must be rolling in it now." And I'm like, well, no, that's not how it works because it's not my money. I pay myself £2,000 a month. That's literally what I was getting paid in the NHS. The rest of the money in the business bank, that belongs to the business, doesn't belong to me. So anyway, all I keep thinking was, Christ, that £30,000 investment that they want me to work with them, that's about 6 months worth of profit for me. So I decided not to do it right now, but I thought maybe the time would be right someday. So when this email came in earlier this week, Monday, and they said that they were doing a 3-day intensive business coaching workshop for just £995, I thought, that's interesting. That's not too bad of a price. I'll learn a lot from it. It includes all your food and drink. They have a private dinner on the evening with masterminding, so you can really get to grips with their expertise and stuff like that. So I basically said to the universe, send me £995, make sure it's that specific amount so that I can go on this training and, make Canny Crystals the best that it possibly can be. And after saying that, I'd gone in the bath, I was doing a little breathwork meditation, and at the end, I just decided to, for a couple of minutes, visualize working with the guys at Expert Empires, and just basically, I could see myself, sat there learning all these valuable business tricks, because, like I mentioned before, I've got no business experience myself. Everything I learn, I learn either firsthand or through podcasts and Audible books and stuff. So anyway, cut to yesterday. I received what I thought was a spam email, okay? And it was from this company that basically said, we want you to create a 60-second TikTok to post on my account, basically, about a business banking app. And I did one for Sage last year, and if I remember rightly, they paid me a few hundred, which I can't remember the exact amount, but I found it really random, but I just went with it, and a few of you might remember, if you were following back then, they boosted the post to over 6 million people, and it really helped my brand be seen by literally millions of people. So I just thought, you know what, this is in line with this intensive training cost. I thought, I'm going to test the universe here. So I went back to the marketing agency wanting me to create this TikTok and really confidently just said, hiya, my rate for a 60-second TikTok video is £995. And off it went. Short and simple, I sent it. I thought, bloody hell, as if I've just said that, they're going to be thinking, what the hell, Martin? Like, do you know what I mean? So I was on a dog walk when I sent it. So luckily, like, I sent the email and the dog walk was enough to, like, just take my mind off stuff and just to be like, release it, let it go. It's off there now. I've done it. Let's go for the dog walk. So not even 2 or 3 minutes had passed and I heard my phone buzz. And when I looked at it, I had an email back from them. And it just said, hello, thanks so much for agreeing to this. Our client is more than happy to pay £995. Thank you. What? Like, honestly, like, so yes, I feel like this was truly aligned. And, you know, by me taking that inspired action to send the email over with the £995 on, that just helped to bring the whole thing together. So once I've been to this business training, honestly, I feel like it's really going to help me because I have no direction for Canny Crystals at all. It's ironic as well because I'm all about, you know, setting goals and manifesting what we want in life. But I do this more for me in my personal life. I know what I want to release in Canny Crystals, but I have no directions. And, you know, I'm quite happily just going with the flow on a daily basis. So it'll really, really help me, you know, focus properly. I think I need a strategy, like, put together more than anything, just so I know in which direction I'm going. Anyway, that aside, because that is like a big manifestation, £995. I was like, bloody hell. Anyway, today's episode was also kind of through, you know, some divine guidance from the universe. I've had a busy week this week, and before I knew it, it was Tuesday, and I was thinking, you know, what am I going to base this week's episode around? So I asked the universe for help and just released it off into the ether. And that afternoon, I put an Instagram story on and I basically asked if anyone had any recommendations for podcasts because I was up to date with all of my regular ones. Now, what I meant is, you know, podcasts to listen to from other people. So I've caught up with all of my usual, you know, The Unbreakable Mindset, Law of Attraction Changed My Life, Spiritual Queen's Badass Podcast, Mindset Mentor, all those. I was up to date with all of those. So I just meant, you know, podcasts to listen to from other people. But 3 people all messaged me, getting the wrong end of the stick, thinking that I was asking for opinions for what I should base my own podcast episode around. And guess what? They were all saying the same thing. How to manifest the body they desire and the mindset around weight loss. So I just kind of feel like I have to go with this because I feel like the universe was shouting at us from afar, like saying, come on, do it. So here we are. We're talking all things about the body, mindset around weight loss, all that jazz. But before we start, can I just throw out this caveat, basically saying that I am in no way qualified to give weight loss advice. So I'm just going to swing this from the perspective of mindset, you know, rather than diet, nutrition, exercise. I'm not qualified to give that data. So if I start talking about stuff like that, obviously I can talk about my own experience of these, but in no way should you think, well, Mart did it that way, so I'm going to do it as well. Please consult someone, consult a PT, consult your GP, you know, pay for someone to put you together a diet plan professionally. It's not that much. You can usually get them for £20 or £30, from a qualified personal trainer. Anyway, where to start with this? I feel like I've lived this over the last few years, myself especially, because I was quite substantially larger than I am now, around 6 or 7 years ago, I'd say. And when I saw Johnny was getting leaner by the day, Johnny's my partner, by the way, and when I saw him getting leaner by the day, I started to compare myself to him. And that got me really down in the dumps because, I would look at how great he looked and then compare it to my body, which was just a big lump of fat and skin. And I would really, really beat myself up about it, even though I'd never really set foot in a gym myself, like in my life back then. And even when I was looking at pictures of Brad, who was Johnny's PT at the time, I was like, fucking hell, he is ripped. Why don't I look like that? And I think just bringing this up with you all right now is really powerful because we spend so much of our lives trying to, keep up with the Joneses and do things for other people's benefit. And we compare our lives and our journeys to other people. Yet we don't know their backstories. We don't know how much time and effort they've put in to make their dream work and to get that body that they've got. We literally assume that they're doing the exact same what we're doing, okay? So although I thought, he probably spends his time in the gym, what I also thought was, well, why don't I look like that after spending time in the gym? The difference is this. He had probably spent the last 10 years from leaving school, because I think he was only like 25, 26. He'd probably spent the last 10 years from leaving school on a strict diet. He'd have been cutting out various foods. He won't have been able to go out drinking every weekend like I did. Well, I used to. He won't have been eating carbs and eating pizzas all the time like I was. He would have been on every supplement under the sun. He would have been spending, hours every single day in the gym. And it's as simple as that. You can't compare your body to someone else's because you haven't walked the same path as them. So get that into your head, okay? Because, yes, by all means, look at someone else's body for inspiration because it's great to have aspirations, isn't it, yourself, of what you want to achieve. But they might have been going to the gym for 10 years, like I say, like he had. You might have been going 10 weeks. And by comparison, that's not like for like. So that's not a motivating feeling because you're not comparing things like for like. And there's a quote I read a while ago. I can't remember for the life of me what book it was from. But it was about judging yourself on other people. It was something along the lines of alluding to, this is the start of your story, whereas they're towards the middle of theirs. And when you think about this, it's so true. So the way to switch your mindset up about this and, like losing weight or gaining weight, whatever it is that's your goal, is to stop beating yourself up for it. It's to try instead comparing your body to what it was a month ago or 3 months ago or a year ago, because that's more likely to give you motivation and drive. And you can see firsthand what your progression is based from your own body and your own results. And I always say, energy in equals energy out, meaning whatever grit, determination, focus, and consistency you give to a specific situation, that's what you're going to get back in return for all that you put in. So rather than comparing my body to theirs, I might say to myself instead, if I put 10 years in at the gym, I can be better than where they are right now. Can you see how that sentence is kind of reframing your mind and it gives you that drive and that motivation to go out and actually do it? Because 10 years is a long time, and I'm using 10 years as a really bad example. What I did when I did the Hard 75, I did it in 3 months. Yes, it was intense, and I lost about 2 stone on it, and it was intense as hell. Don't get us wrong, it was very, very strict. But I felt so much better for doing it. And when I kept comparing the photos, because during the Hard 75, you had to, take body progress pictures every day. And what I was doing is I was looking back like a week or two, of what I looked like a week or two ago. And I was like, bloody hell, I'm making real progression here. So that's the best way to do it, okay? So what feelings come up for you when I talk about your weight? So it could be, you don't feel that you're lovable because you don't have that perfect body, in inverted commas, should I say. You don't have enough energy to do things. Or you might just be, unhappy with the way you look. I get it. Like I say, I've been there myself. So I just want basically to let you know that the statistics show that 85 to 90% of what you worry about never happens. Now, the reason I bring that up is that for years, I was petrified about stepping foot in a gym. I was worried about, getting me kit off in front of other people. I'd be at the gym and, if you've ever been to a CrossFit style gym, all the lads usually have their tops off because it gets bloody hot and sweaty. But for years, I thought, I could never do that. I'm too chunky. People will laugh at me. People will judge me. I'll be frowned upon. And for years, it even put me off walking into a gym on my own, because when I would go into the gym on my own, I would get this like severe anxiety washing over us. I'd have to like put my headphones in, and I'd be like scrolling emails. I wouldn't be doing anything on my phone, but I would have my head down scrolling emails until I got over to the machine that I was going to use. Then I would be all right, and I would be in my comfort zone because I would be on it. But just walking around the gym used to really give me anxiety. But like I say, 85 to 90% of what you worry about never actually happens. Really absorb that, okay? When I got my kit off for my before and after shots, when I did the hard 75, not one single person in the gym at the time turned their heads and looked. Not one of them laughed or sniggered. Not one of them turned to vomit. Everything I was scared of didn't actually happen. And because of that, I immediately felt more confident in my own skin. 85 to 90% of what you worry about never happens. Most of it is conditioning. Most of it is what we've got in our head right now. And, you know, we've been conditioned to think that, you know, our body isn't perfect. Why isn't your body perfect? It might be perfect to someone else. Someone else might even use you as their inspiration and think, oh my God, they look absolutely amazing. What I'm trying to get your head around here is that most of our fears and concerns about having the perfect body are around mindset. And we know from studying the law of attraction, don't we, that like attracts like. So if you think negatively about your body and your weight, and you have that constant, you know, I'll never be able to have that dream body, I guarantee you, if you think like that, you'll never have it with that mindset. People think about what they don't want rather than what they do want. We think, you know, I don't want to be fat. The universe hears fat and it goes, there you go, fatty. Do you know what I mean? Like, we take action towards our goals when we're motivated, not when we feel like crap, when we are motivated. So thinking negatively about our bodies, that's only going to leave us less motivated and more sluggish to do anything about it. Because we simply admit defeat and we just think, you know, oh, well, this is the way it is now. No, it doesn't have to be. You just have to motivate yourself. And the way you motivate yourself is by feeling positive about what you have right now. So what we need to do is turn it on its head, because you draw energy from the future that you imagine, whether that be good or bad, doesn't matter. You draw energy from the future that you imagine. So if you're thinking of, you know, a negative future ahead because of your weight and your body, then that's what you're going to get. I find that by visualizing being confident in your own skin, that's the best way to manifest your perfect body. And like I say, I'm not tailoring this specifically to, you know, weight loss or weight gain, because every single one of us has a different weight goal. I might have done an episode basically saying, here's how you lose 5 stone in a week. But that wouldn't be helpful to someone who is, you know, going through anorexia or something like that, where they're desperately trying to gain weight, okay? So I find that visualizing being confident in your own skin the best way to do it, because we each have our individual goals. And going out of your comfort zone is a lot more powerful than trying to imagine yourself, you know, with a 6-pack, because again, that might take 10 years to achieve. So just try and visualize yourself being confident in your own skin. Imagine yourself walking down a beach, for example, in a bikini or a crop top or whatever it is that feels like confidence to you. And just visualize yourself like walking down the beach. Feel the sun on your skin. Feel how happy you are. Feel yourself like holding onto your partner's hand if you have one, that kind of thing. Whatever it is, as long as it makes you feel confident in your skin, visualize that, okay? So what do? We eat a salad, and 2 hours later, we wonder why we can't see abs. Yeah? If you want to be successful at losing weight or gaining weight or whatever it is that's your goal, you need to be consistent with it, okay? Consistency is a massive key when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to law of attraction, all that jazz. Successful people are simply those with successful habits, okay? Remember that. Successful people are simply those with successful habits. Put simply, that's it in a nutshell. What we do daily, what we do consistently, is what creates those results, or lack of, Okay, because everything takes time and consistency. If you think of, being pregnant, for example, you can't rush a baby. It literally takes 9 months on average. You can't say, I'm going to get pregnant and I'm going to have my healthy baby within the next 2 days. Everything takes a set time. And I've said this before, but imagine if the law of attraction was instant and you suddenly thought of an elephant in the room, literally, and then an elephant just appears. The world would be filled with absolute fucking madness. So just like that, reaching your weight goals, it all depends on consistency and time, okay? But as I mentioned, the only thing that you can compare yourself to is yourself. Okay, just remember, we are so good at building, a future in our mind, and we can see it so clearly. We can trick our mind to believe that we're currently there. Okay, and if we're confident, we're happy, we're content within our own skin and ourselves in the future, we must have a body that aligns with that. Okay, it defies law if we don't. What can help you to change your mindset is also, my weight loss subliminal, if weight loss is your goal, for example. Loads of people have had great success with this. And all it does is it affirms those messages of positivity to your brain to help energize you and retrain your brain to, think positively about your weight journey to your perfect body, rather than thinking of all the stress that it's going to be, or all the hassle, or the constant gym day in, day out. The subliminals can do the mindset with you, okay? So break it down to tangible results for you as well, because I find this really, really beneficial when it comes to, setting yourself a tangible goal, okay? What would a good body look like to you? Grab yourself a pen and paper, write it out. Write down all the factors of, a perfect body to you. Like I say, we each have individual goals. What is a perfect body for me won't necessarily be a perfect body to you. Put yourself in that version of you's shoes. So if you were that person, what would your day-to-day look like? Okay? A non-negotiable for myself, for example, is to hit 10,000 steps every day. And believe me, I won't go to sleep on a night until I hit those 10,000 steps every day. Like, don't get us wrong, I don't do anything drastic. Even at home, I'll probably do around 5,000 steps just being around the house. But it's better than sitting on the couch doing nothing. And I saw recently that Francesca Amber had bought herself like a little treadmill. And when I say a little treadmill, I mean like it's literally a fold-up treadmill that you just walk on. And I thought, what a good idea. Anyway, I ordered myself one a few weeks ago. And it literally folds up and goes under the couch. And it's perfect because when I'm sat at home on a night watching Married at First Sight, as I do, it's on for an hour and a half every single night. Well, Monday to Thursday at least. Now, that hour and a half, rather than being sat on a couch or lay on a couch, I am now walking for the full hour and a half on my little fold-up treadmill. And it's perfect because that's me, trying to reach my perfect body goal, but doing something about it, just making those minor adjustments. And like I said, it doesn't have to be expensive. The treadmill wasn't expensive. Well, I mean, obviously it costs money, but it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be. So I focused on my daily habits. So I made these minor adjustments like that. Instead of having takeaways for 7 days a week, for example, I was like, cool, I'm going to remove that. And from now on, I'm going to reduce the amount of takeaways that I'm having. And I'm going to follow those recipe books for healthy eating that I have in the cupboard. Like I've got Joe Wicks's books, Lean in 15. They are really, really good, like books that you can make a meal in 15 minutes and make it healthy. And it's usually stuff that you've already got in the cupboard as well. And I made that my first habit. I'm going to make that my first area that I'm going to try and gain control over that. And then once I've got control over like that, I'm going to then remove alcohol for a bit, because we all know decisions that we make when we're intoxicated and drunk, that's going to lead us to getting a takeaway or having snacks. So I removed all alcohol. And then I could then gain control of my nutrition. And then I could make, calculated decisions when it came to my nutrition and what I was putting into my mouth. Do you get where I'm coming from? One thing leads to another and it snowballs. But I think when you break things down into tangible results for you, just do things week on week. Take them day on day. Take them however long it takes for you to physically do. So if you think, right, I'm going to get these 10,000 steps under wraps, reach that goal first. Then the next week, do the 10,000 steps, but also cook yourself one nutritious meal. Don't get that one takeaway. Then the next week when you've hit that, and it will soon snowball, and I mean this. I don't know why I said soon snowball. It will soon snowball because the more we do, the better the results will be. Okay, everything will snowball, and eventually you will be on your way to your perfect body. So they're my little goals that I started out with, and over the space of about a year, doing that, just like the 10,000 steps, changing my nutrition bit by bit, I lost just under 2 stone in a year. Now, a few of you might be like, 2 stone isn't a lot more in a year. Like I say, we all have these individual goals. 2 stone for me was amazing. And then again, last year, I did the hard 75 from when was it? It was from the 1st of January up until the end of March. I basically did it until the end of March. And I know I spoke about it on the pod before, but I lost 2 stone again through 3 months of hard grit. So I'm at a weight now where I'm quite comfortable with my body type. I could probably do with losing another stone or so. I'm not ripped by any means, but I'm comfortable to the point that I no longer lose sleep over how I look physically. So let's look at my top tips for weight management, okay? So my first is to focus on health. And like I say, that's not just weight. So instead of obsessing over the number on the scale, make health your main priority, okay? Focus on making positive changes to your diet and exercise routine that'll benefit your overall health and well-being rather than just trying to lose weight. And you'll find that by doing that, the weight loss or the weight gain, whatever it is that you're trying to, whatever it is that is your goal, you'll find that that comes without any effort, okay? Focusing on health rather than just weight is an important mindset shift when it comes to weight management, because it's so easy to become obsessed with the numbers on that scale. I've been there myself. But weight is just one aspect of overall health. In fact, weight can be, an imperfect indicator of health, because factors such as muscle mass and body composition, they can impact the number on the scale. So instead of fixating on weight, try and prioritize your overall health and well-being. This might involve, like I said, just making positive changes to your diet, such as incorporating more fruits and vegetables, reducing your intake of processed foods and added sugars. It might also involve finding a physical activity that you enjoy. It might be running, it might be swimming, it might be yoga. Something else entirely. It's totally up to you. Exercise not only burns calories, but it also has numerous other health benefits for your physical and mental health. Other aspects of health to consider include, stress management, sleep quality, and mental health. Because chronic stress and poor sleep, they can impact your metabolism in ways that you don't even know. And it can make you more difficult to maintain a healthy weight. And then obviously mental health issues such as depression and anxiety, they can lead to emotional eating and other unhealthy behaviors. So by focusing on overall health and well-being rather than just your weight, you can set yourself up for long-term success, okay? Not only will you feel better physically and mentally, but you'll also be more likely to make sustainable lifestyle changes that you can maintain over time. Another thing you can do is to practice self-compassion. So be kind and compassionate to yourself throughout your weight management journey, because remember, changing your mindset and habits, it takes time. It's okay to slip up or make mistakes. Instead of beating yourself up, use the setbacks as learning opportunities and keep on moving forward. So if one week, for example, you had healthy meals planned all week, and then just for some reason you slipped off the track and you ordered yourself a McDonald's or something like that, don't beat yourself up about it. Use it as a learning curve. Think, what did I do today? Was it the fact that you were really stressed with work and you didn't have enough time? You didn't plan ahead, so you didn't have your healthy meal cooked in advance? So what can you learn from that? Yeah? Try meal prep, that kind of thing. Try and cook your meal in advance because you know that you're going to be kind of busy that day. Kind of plan ahead, yeah? Practicing self-compassion is an essential mindset shift. What's wrong with me today? It's an essential mindset shift when it comes to weight management, okay? It's easy to fall into a pattern of self-criticism and negative self-talk, especially when we don't meet our weight loss goals. So we might set ourselves, I'm going to lose 5 pounds by the end of that week. That might not be manageable and achievable for you. And we might beat ourselves up when we don't meet those goals, okay? Self-criticism can be counterproductive, and it can lead to feelings, of shame and guilt. And we can actually make this harder for ourselves to make healthy choices in the future by doing this. And that's where self-compassion comes in. It involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a close friend or a loved one. So if I came to you and I said, oh, by the way, I only lost £1 this week, what would you say to me? You'd be like, well done. £1 is amazing. Well done. You've done really, really well. You've tried your hardest. Why don't you give yourself that compassion then? Okay? It's just acknowledging that weight management can be difficult and that setbacks are inevitable and mistakes are a natural part of the process. So when you practice that self-compassion, you're allowing yourself to be imperfect and to make mistakes without judging or punishing yourself, okay? One other way of practicing self-compassion is to speak to yourself as though you would speak to a friend who is struggling, okay? Like I say, you can practice self-care activities that help you feel good about yourself, such as taking a relaxing bath or getting a massage or spending time in nature. Another way is to set realistic goals, okay? So don't set yourself up for failure, like I've said, by setting unrealistic weight goals. Aim for those small, achievable goals that you can build up over time. If I said to you, lose £5 every week for the next month, and you will have lost £20 over the next month, you would be like, okay, the second you don't hit that £5 in that first week, you would be like, this isn't achievable. This isn't like attainable. It's not sustainable. And you would probably yo-yo backwards and forwards between 1 week on the diet, 1 week off the diet. Yeah. Whereas if I said to you, try and lose £0.5 a week, over a month, you'll have lost £2. Over 10 months, you would have hit your £20 goal. Okay. But 10 months the other way, you might still be yo-yoing backwards and forwards and getting nowhere fast. £0.5 a week is absolutely amazing if that's your goal, to lose weight. Okay, so it's really important to set realistic goals that are achievable and sustainable over time because it all mounts up. Okay, I find something else that really happens is to incorporate mindfulness practices, because mindfulness, such as, meditation, deep breathing, yoga, they can all help you to become more aware of your body's needs and really help you to make those healthier choices. They can also help reduce stress, and that can be a major obstacle, like I mentioned. But as well as that, say you started a yoga group, you're surrounding yourself with supportive people because they're all there to build a stronger body and to get into that mindset, okay? So having that support system can really make all the difference when it comes to changing your mindset and sticking to your weight management goals. And emphasize sustainable habits over quick fixes. So instead of focusing on these short-term solutions, like these fad diets and everything, aim to make sustainable life changes that you can maintain in the long run. So that might mean, making gradual changes to your diet, like I said, and your exercise routine, or finding ways to make healthy habits more enjoyable and sustainable. If you, for example, you travel to work on a bus, get off the bus, maybe a stop earlier and walk to work. Yeah, it's only something little and it'll only result in maybe a couple of hundred more steps a day, but a couple of hundred more steps every single day will sharp mount up, okay? And something else I just want to mention is if you do feel that you need to, you can also get professional help from your GP. So if you're struggling to change your mindset around weight management, or you're dealing with, underlying health issues, consider seeking professional help, because it's all right on me saying all this, but if you've got underlying issues, a registered dietitian, a personal trainer, or a therapist, they can all provide guidance and support as you work towards your goals, okay? And I just want to leave you with this, because I heard someone talk a couple of weeks ago about a group of students, and this is basically like my Jerry Springer moment, when he always used to say, and now for my final thought. So, a group of students were all asked to select in 2 weeks' time. So they were asked to select what snack they would like, a chocolate bar or a banana, in 2 weeks' time. So in 2 weeks' time, you're going to get given this snack. What would you choose, the chocolate bar or the banana? Now, after listening to this podcast, I would hope that you would choose the banana, because it's all about making those incremental changes. So 80% of these students chose the banana to have in 2 weeks' time. Because right now, after listening to this podcast, you might be pumped to do something about it and take the next step. But then when it came to the crunch, just 2 weeks later, those students were asked again. And out of those 80%, only 25% of them took the banana. So 75% of that 80% took the chocolate instead. And I think we're all like that, where we'll make a decision and we will say that we'll do something. But when it comes to the crunch, will we do it consistently? So my biggest concern wrapping up this episode is that hopefully you found this episode useful and valuable and interesting, or that it might have triggered some thoughts and it's caused you to make some decisions like right now. But my biggest concern is that you won't do it and you won't follow through with it. But the reason that most people don't do what they know they should do is simply their mindset. So it's not like I can say, we can manifest our best lives. We can manifest this dream body. It starts with mindset. That's all it is. Okay. Believe in yourself. Visualize that confident, content, perfect version of you. And you can change anything you want in your life, including your weight. Okay. I hope this episode has helped you. And if you want to go deeper with manifestation or be held accountable every single day, because I bloody do, don't forget, I now have my Manifest with Mart community on the Canny Crystals Academy. It's got 70 people in it right now. You can get access to an app, basically, where we all talk daily. We have live streams like a Zoom call. We meditate together. There's daily challenges. And it's just a beautiful, safe space for everyone. And it's only £10 a month. You can cancel whenever you like. You're not in any contract. And you also get access to all of the past recordings of the meetups as well. So the value is incredible for what you're getting. But yeah, please feel free to leave a comment or review wherever you're listening to this podcast episode from. It really, really does help this podcast to grow to new audiences. But in the meantime, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this all really, really helpful and you're all super motivated to go ahead and do what you need to do now. And I will see you all next Friday for another episode of Canny Crystals, the podcast. Happy Easter, everyone. Bye. Come and join me in the Manifest with Mart community. For just £10 a month, you'll get exclusive access to my app and you'll join all the other beautiful souls in the Canny community, where each day you'll be held accountable to making your dreams and desires come to fruition. You'll also be set daily and weekly challenges. There's a chat room built in so you can talk to people in real time, and you can also pop over any questions that you have in the Q&A forum and I'll answer them for you. It's changing people's lives, and we've already had so many people manifesting things in the first 2 weeks alone. Each new moon, I'll also be going live within the group on a face-to-face video to help you get the most out of the lunar cycles, as well as answer any burning questions that you have. And these live meetups are so powerful, and everyone in the group has had nothing but praise for the safe space that we share. There are very limited spaces for this community, however, just to ensure that I can place my focus on you and nurture you into the ultimate manifester. So if you'd like a spot, please be quick and reserve your seat now. Head to cannycrystalsacademy.co.uk and choose the Manifest with Mart option, where you can get instant access, and what's more, you'll also get access to all of the past recordings and chats too. Join now and start living the life of your dreams.